Can we do this with someone else? No, they're both busy. In the name of the law. A group of volunteers arrived from Ravoy. They're looking for help to bring order in these lands. Their people would make a welcome reinforcement for the guards if they could be persuaded to join our ranks. Try Tristan. Several bandit encampments have emerged. Okay, so he dealt with it. Relying on the services of mercenaries, the treasurer managed to put an end to bandit attacks. The roads of the barony are safer not only for the locals, but for merchants as well. Alright, so greedy tax collector. Craftsman submitted a complaint against the tax collector. According to the craftsman, the tax collector demanded double payment this month. The collector admitted he'd taken some of the taxes he collected and then tried to collect the tax again to hide his crime. Get him, Juby. Success chance 55%. Let's use a crisis point on that. Monster invasion. Visit the throne room. Okay. The epidemic continues. More and more people die. More and more monsters roam your lands. Some of your subjects have already fled in search of safer havens. Your barony's very existence is in danger. We do have good news. I managed to gather some information that I hope will help you eliminate the threat before it's too late. Shortly after the epidemic started, goblins began appearing everywhere. The locals report that these goblins have been celebrating and shouting something about the Day of Glory for Lamashtu, when all humans would be eaten by monsters and only goblins would remain. Sounds disturbing, does it not? Lamashtu. What do we know about her? She's called the Mother of Monsters. Her symbol is a three-eyed jackal head. She's an ancient and extremely evil goddess who spreads nightmares, insanity, and perhaps of most interest to us, monsters. Her worshippers are mostly of the more monstrous races, like goblins, lamayas, and gnolls. That said, there's no short supply of secret followers and cults among more civilized peoples too, including the people of the River Kingdoms. So the goblins are behind this then? Behind it? Doubtful. Benefiting from it? Quite likely. I'd surmise that the true cause of this disaster is either human cultists of Lamashtu, or even worse, some supernatural creature related to her. In any case, the goblins likely know enough to provide some clue. So we need to find a goblin leader and press them for information. Any idea where to begin the search? Alas, nothing more than vague speculations. Once you've alerted your subjects to the danger, they began defending themselves as best as they could. My agents couldn't catch even a single goblin alive, but rumor has it the goblin village lies somewhere in the Kame lands. Kami lands? The Kamihami lands? Thank you. I hope it helps you save the lives of your people. John's eyes are bloodshot and his posture is slack. The wrinkles on his face have deepened and his sparse hair has gone gray. It's a disaster, Your Grace. We have an epidemic developing in this country. The afflicted first get a fever, then a bloody cough, and then several hours later, he shakes his head and grimaces, and that's just half the trouble. Afterward, the bodies of the afflicted become like some kind of cocoon, and monsters hatch out of them. People keep dying, and we haven't the slightest clue what's causing it or how to deal with it. Tristan and I established a field hospital in the building of the former prison. Don't look at me like that, there were no better places to choose from. Frankly, we were lucky to find this one. To cut a long story short, we have a female patient who's volunteered for vivisection. It means cutting into her living body to look for the source of the disease. Jod frowns. After the surgery, Aristil forgive us, we'll be lucky if we can close her up and let her go alive as well. However, we don't want to do it without your presence or grace, so please try to find some time to attend. Ah! We're doing a live autopsy? There's one more thing. Jod hands you a battered letter. Keston, that dunce, sent a message. He rambles from place to place. These letters are all we ever receive. Just read it. It's urgent. The Shrine of Lamashtu has been revealed. Keston's letter. Vivisection? What are you going to do? What? We're going to find the source of the disease, that's what. Once the monster emerges, the body of the afflicted is torn to pieces, making it impossible to learn anything from the remains. But we found one brave woman who gave us permission to cut her open. The straits are dire, we don't know exactly what we're looking for, and the vivisection is extremely dangerous for the patient, but we're left with no other choice. What do we know about the disease? Not much, just primary symptoms actually. We're not even sure if it's a disease, a curse, or some magic parasite. Perhaps with your help, we'll manage to learn more. Any progress in curing it? How should I put it? None. We haven't even been able to save a single patient yet. We're like blind kittens bumping against a wall. We have nothing to show for it. Can't you handle this without me? Your Grace, we're not playing games here. Do you wish to keep your barony? That requires taking care of its people. Whatever you may think, you have no more important business at this time. Okay, let's go. There's no other option but let's go. I just don't want to see this. This is our hospital. John shows you around the bleak, comfortless building with its barred cells. The prison is certainly not the best location nor the healthiest, but it's better than nothing. Also, it might be cruel to say this, but considering the nature of the malady, it would be safer for everyone if the patients were kept behind bars until they're healed. I hope the city will get a proper clinic in time. Where are all the prison inmates? There were not but a few pickpockets locked away in here. We put them to work cleaning the place up and then set them free. There's still one here, though. He wasn't some petty thief, but a seasoned highwayman. What have you already tried? Standard spells to heal disease, remove poison, lift curses, all ineffective. Attempting to dispel the magic is also fruitless. I fear we may be dealing with a curse of strength enough to surpass our own faith. It isn't a matter of faith. I don't think it's a disease, let alone a powerful curse. I suspect it's some sort of parasite hiding itself within the body. Nonsense. We've detected magic suffusing each patient's body, evenly distributed. It's as if it was some sort of parasite. It would have been a simple matter to detect. Then it's able to disguise itself. Maybe it's poisoning their blood with its magic. By the sun, we return to this argument over and over. It's been days. Let's stop talking and do something already. Who's our patient? Her name is Madla Stasik, a peasant woman from a nearby village. We haven't seen any prior cases of the disease there. I pray for that brave woman. She's the first one to mount the courage necessary to volunteer for this surgery. We cannot let her down. Why the prison? Was there no place more suitable? If only the city had a clinic. Even if it did, the prison would still be the best choice. Don't forget, at any moment, any of the patients could, you know, die and release a monster. It's safer for everyone if we keep them locked up. Where will the surgery take place? Well, that room was previously a torture chamber. There was already a suitable table. Alright, well, that's fine. I've no need for a torture chamber anyway. I thought as much. Alright, give me a minute to look around. You must insist, but don't take long. Alright, so I don't have the party with me. So if she turns into a monster and this turns into a fight, it's just me. So let's throw what spells little me has. Good roll. That was 1 to 3 beasts, and we got 3. Alright, what initially looked like an invasion has turned out to be an epidemic. Got a pearl. Prisoner. Patient. Why am I locked up in here? It's just a common cold. No, you dying, son!
Not that I care.
Thing is, I don't know if they've got magic painkiller. So, are they just gonna be cutting into this woman while she's screaming? I am concerned. Alright. Quick save in case we have to do something really scummy, chat. Talk to Madla. Noticing you, the patient, a ruddy-faced middle-aged peasant woman blinks her eyes. Imagine that, His Grace himself paying me a visit. Good health to you. I'm Madla Stasik from Sedgedale. So you think these priests of yours can really heal me? With Aristo's help they could, I bet. Just look how brainy they seem, the two of them. Why did you volunteer for this surgery? I'm scared like a hare, truth be told, but this is no mere cold. Can't just hope it'll pass on its own. At least this way I get some hope, right? And then, well, the doctors will figure it out. What to do about the plague. I'm no hero, not me, but sometimes you gotta think about others too. If they end up butchering me, at least maybe they can figure out how to save someone else. If I gotta die, let it be for a good cause. I'd like to think I would do the same, chat. But you never know until you're in that position. And if they don't have painkillers, man, I don't know. How are you feeling? I got a fever, cough too. I can't eat, I feel like puking all the time. I've been through worse though. Born 6 kids and survived. But still, this scares me breathless. Every tingle in my body gets me to shaking and I think to myself, this is it, it's started. I'm about to be ripped to shreds. Tell me about yourself. Nothing to tell, really. We're simple people with simple lives. Spent all mine in Sedgedale. It's by Gudrun River, past Silverstep Lake. Raised my children there, then grandchildren. Never seen monsters worse than goblins there. But now owlbears and hydras are everywhere. I prayed to the gods to spare our village, but no, this blight fell right upon my own head. Alright, get ready. We're about to begin. As long as you're nearby, I got nothing to be scared of. I do not remember this part. I am predicting there's going to be a moment where she is like screaming and begging us to stop, and we're going to have like to make a choice or something like that. Let's begin. He breathes in deeply and then exhales slowly. Eris still be with us. Sarah and Ray help us. Glancing nervously at the various medical instruments, the brave peasant woman got up on the operating table. Just don't butcher me is all I ask, she muttered in trembling voice. Meanwhile, the foremost medical experts in the room still couldn't agree on what exactly it was they were trying to do. Stop arguing with me. Coughing up blood is a sure sign the problem is in the lungs. We should look there, Jod insisted. No, it's the nausea we should be focusing on. We need to examine the stomach, Tristan objected. The clerics turned to the Baron in desperation, asking him to resolve their dispute. After careful consideration, he decided. Oh my god. So she's coughing out blood, but she's feeling nauseous. Parasite? Decide by coin toss? No. If it's a parasite that was in the lungs, that would probably mean it's airborne. If it's a parasite in the stomach, it's probably spread in some kind of contaminated food.
Did he say Cyclops? Did it hurt your feelings?
They said that she was the only person in her village that was infected. I think it's more likely that she ate something that the others did not than it is that she breathed in air that the others did not. Alright, I am going to follow that train of thought. Hopefully the devs agree with me. And I'm going to say side with Tristan and search for the source of the disease in the patient's stomach. Without wasting further time arguing, Jod said a short prayer to Aristil and took the scalpel Tristan offered him. Candlelight reflected off the surgical instruments and potion bottles. As Jod's scalpel made the first incision on the woman's skin, I could hear her inhale loudly enough through clenched teeth. I confess I lacked the courage to watch the surgery. Even after I turned away, I couldn't help but tremble from hearing the poor woman's screams. The air filled with the acrid scent of medical potions, while Tristan mumbled prayers to ease the patient's pain. Okay, so he's got something. Simultaneously scanning her body with magical sight. All I could do was whisper my own prayers. But the Baron... Okay, so Lindsay's writing this. She's in the room. But the Baron, he didn't lose his courage. He... Oh my god. Bro, why can I not have my team here with me? Okay, the only one of these I can actually do is this. Help Jod by advising him on the fastest and most efficient way to finish the surgery with his late nature lore. The Baron's medical knowledge helped Jod immensely. The surgery was over quickly. The poor woman's screams and crying were unbearable. I couldn't begin to imagine what she was going through. I'm such a fool, Jod finally exclaimed. You were right! I'm glad we listened to you. Tristan used a healing spell to close the wound in the woman's stomach, and Jod showed everyone the strange item he extracted. It looked like some kind of seed, a glowing, pulsing, thumb-sized seed. Before anyone could say anything, it flashed in Jod's fingers. He dropped it to the floor, just in time. On the spot where the seed landed, a portal opened, and a roaring monster jumped out. So it's... Okay. So, okay. So they're not changing into the monsters. It's just literally a portal, and an owlbear is coming out inside their stomach, and then they get blown apart. Guess who readied for a fight?
Out of my way!
This is a ferocious owlbear too, which is like the nasty breed. I'm glad I summoned the boys ahead of time too. Although Chip did most of the damage. Jod wipes the sweat from his brow, not even noticing the blood still on his hands. Aristil and Sarenrae be praised. They were truly on our side this day. It's a miracle. Tristan hands Jod a clean towel. Jod pulls himself together and wipes his hands and face. Are you able to cure others of the disease now? Yes. Now that we know what to do, we can extract the seeds with much less risk to the patients and much less suffering. What have we learned? We've learned I was a pompous fool, and Tristan was right all along. It's not a disease, but a parasite. Something of a vegetative origin, resembles a seed. I'm sorry, my friend. I should have wagged my tongue less and listened to you more. Please don't mention it. It was a lucky guess, not worthy of your praise. What will you do next? There are still many patients here. We'll start work on them immediately. And you, your grace, may want to search for the source of the disease. We still know neither where the seeds come from nor how they get into people's bodies. New patients arrive daily, and how many never even find their way to a hospital. Our efforts are not enough by themselves. We need to find the root of this problem. All right, I have to go. Please find the source of these wretched seeds. After I skin this owlbear. Can we talk to the lady? Madla. I barely survived it.
Will this ever end?
This actually reminds me of part of a campaign I DM'd one time, chat. And there was this guy. So in the campaign I was doing, this was an actual, like, you know, pencil and paper Dungeons and Dragons thing. We were all at a table. And I described this scene where this guy, there was like a fire in a building. And they try to save this guy, and this guy, like, a beam fell and, like, smashed into his leg, and, like, his leg was just, you know, maimed. And they run in there, and they're trying to get him out, and, you know, they're dragging him, and they realize they need this guy to get up and move, and he's bleeding to death from his leg. And they, one of them's like, you know, I give him a potion, and he had, like, you know, a chunk of, like, wood impaling his leg. So I described it that the leg healed around the chunk of wood, but it was still, like, in his leg. So he was no longer bleeding to death, but he was, like, screaming. And they kind of, like, you know, have his arm, and they're, like, you know, getting him out of the building. And they take him to this other, like crazy doctor guy in town. Like, doctor's a poor choice of words. And the guy comes out, and, you know, they're like, can you help him? And he's like, yeah, I can help him. And he goes up to the guy, and, like, without, like, saying or preparing him at all, he pulls out a scalpel and just goes, it just, like, cuts the guy. The guy's like, ah! And he starts screaming, and the guy, he's just like, blip, 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 and he just, like, pulls out all, like, the wooden splinters and stuff like that, and the guy's, like, wailing and howling, and they're holding him down. And, like, as soon as he finishes, he hits the guy with a healing spell, and, like, the wound closes back up, but now that the wood's out of the way, and the guy's just like, and he's just in, like, a state of shock. Because I was following the logic. I was like, yeah, magic healing spell doesn't get rid of, like, the foreign stuff in your body. You got to deal with that now.
How much longer?
And this reminds me greatly of that. All right, so do we have anything? Let's see, witch hunt. The matter must be urgent. Jod brought a note from Keston. Keston's letter. All right, here we go. Your Grace, please forgive me for my sudden disappearance. I deem myself of more use among your subjects than at court. The people are afraid, Your Grace. They believe that they've been forgotten, that the ruler couldn't care less about the simple folk, even as they perish each and every day. For this reason, those who can bear arms are starting to take matters into their own hands. A wild mob is a force to be reckoned with, and you already have enough to worry about. Fortunately, I was able to convince these people that I'm on their side in the end. I've decided to lead this militia myself in order to be the first one to know whenever the people learn something new and to protect them from making rash decisions. I've led troops before, and your subjects view me as one of their own, so they trust me and are willing to follow me. It was with a heavy heart I left your castle, but my hope is that once I'm among the common people, I would be able to track down the source of this disease that struck the barony. I was recently informed that one of the squads scouring the outlying regions of the Camellands had encountered a mysterious shrine. Our spies report that at the beginning of each week, cultists gather there to worship the dark goddess Lamashtu, the patroness of all manner of hideous creatures. I know little of gods and their affairs, but the appearance of the Mother of Beasts and her followers in a land teeming with monsters can hardly be a coincidence. As soon as I finish writing this letter, I shall lead a squad of my best men there and await your arrival. I ask for your help, Your Grace, for I shall need it to strangle this filth in its cradle. That's a metaphor. Who knows, perhaps we'll capture one of the cultists alive and find out if they and their goddess are behind the misfortunes of this barony. Your loyal servant, Keston Garrus. Cool cat you got there, Matt? Oh, thank you. He's quite the loaf. Okay, so that's done. Alright, so somewhere in the Camellands, an entire goblin village is hidden away. We have to search the region thoroughly and find it. And meet Keston at the Shrine of Lamashtu on Moon Day, the first day of the week. The one your Kingmaker party, but of course Lordship is excellent. Of course. Alov, stop yelling and listen to me. So I was trying to go to the world map. I'm trying to talk some sense into you. There's nothing to talk about, Alov. This is my home. Here I was born, and it is here I shall die. You dolt, that's what I'm saying. You stay, you'll die before your time. Can't you see what's going on? Monsters, goblins, and bandits? Turn your back for a moment, there's some fiend crawling right out of your neighbor's entrails. You talk too much, just do your work, pray to Aristil, and stay close to your home and family. That's all there is to it. We've seen worse. Hi, back when I was half your age and unmarried. Eric, old friend, think of Jenny and your little ones. What if some beast comes knocking at your door? You're a woodcutter, not a swordsman. We have to leave the barony while we still can. Aristel, have mercy, your grace. Forgiveness, your grace. We were just discussing the crops. I understand. Okay, diplomacy. Let's see. If I roll a 2 or higher, I can get this. Oh my god, if I fail. I understand that you're worried about your close ones and yourself, but believe me, without loyal, upstanding people by my side, I can never rescue this realm from the evils plaguing it. If you say, I swear, I'll do everything in my power to put an end to this madness. Both men listen to you quietly and then look to each other and clumsily bow to you. We understand, your grace. These are tough times indeed, and there are things, all sorts of things you have to deal with. Don't you go listening to fools. The loyal and true will stand by your side. Easy. I'm guessing they would have joined the revolution if I had not stopped that. Ooh, it is almost that time, chat. Alright, let's just take a look at the world map and see if we can find where our next goals are. Okay. Somewhere in the Kamalands... Oh, wait, is that it? Oh, there's the Shrine of Lamashtu right there. Alright, and then over here is the other thing. So... that would take 16 hours. That would take 1 day, 4 hours. Okay. So I would do that, and then... Actually, I'll travel down there just so next time I immediately open the game and I'll see exactly what I was intending to do next. As I sometimes forget. Get this glowing thing on the screen. Excellent. All right. We will... let's make a separate save file. I haven't done that at all today. We will save it there. And we will pick it up from this moment next time.